Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. And I have to admit, I did have a bit of a problem when it came to talking about the gameplay in today's video, because I've just got back from watching Star Wars Rogue One, and it was amazing. I think it may be the best Star Wars movie I've ever seen. And when I say that, I mean including The Empire Strikes Back. A bold claim, but it really is that good. In fact, even Rita, who went to the movies with me, a dedicated Star Trek fan, came out of this movie saying it was incredible. So right now, all I really want to do is talk about Rogue One. But I can't do that because spoilers. So, I got home, I opened up my email, and I saw a couple of messages from Circonflexes. I thought, oh, this is going to be good. And it was. Obviously, World of Tanks has just patched to version 9.17, and 9.17 brings with it the Swedish tech tree. Because this is the Swedish Tier 6, the Stridsvagn 74. Proper tank, not a paper design. I've seen one of these in the Swedish Tank Museum. It was in service between 1958 and the 1980s, and it replaced the Stridsvagn M42. Although it does still reuse the hull of the Stridsvagn M42, just with a redesigned turret, and a high-velocity 75mm gun that apparently used to be an anti-aircraft gun. The gun reminds me a lot of the 75mm Pak-42 high-velocity 75mm gun that you get on the Stug 3 at Tier 5 and also on the E25 at Tier 7 in premium form. And at least as far as the Stridsvagn 74 is concerned, it does seem to share a lot of other characteristics in common with the Stug 3, and that's a relatively limited ammo capacity. But the gun handling seems to be very, very good. Look at the size of the gun reticle when the tank's on the move. It's tiny. There is a certain amount of reticle bloom when he moves the turret, but not a huge amount, and it doesn't take long to shrink back down again as soon as the turret stops moving. I get the impression this tank is going to be very, very good at firing on the move. It also seems like it's going to be the kind of tank that, well, should be able to do well in a position like this, cresting a ridge and snapping shots without waiting to be fully aimed, which you kind of have to do if you're in this kind of situation in the Stridsvagn 74, because your armour is trash. That can get you into trouble, however, if you have a limited ammo capacity, as this tank does. It only carries 42 rounds of ammunition. It's accurate and it's rapid firing, but it only has 140 alpha damage, and like the same type of gun on the Stug 3, you have to put a lot of shots into a target in order to finish it off, but you can do that because of the rapid firing nature of the gun. But that's when you run into problems with the ammo capacity. What is that Churchill 3 doing? He's so determined to put shots into that T-34-85 Rudy that he just drove out and gave the side of his tank to 3 enemy mediums. Well, I think it's time to run away. Yep, there goes the VK as well. That just leaves Circonflexes and the M6, who is doomed as well. There is no way he's going to be able to fall back fast enough. But Circonflexes is getting the hell out of here. It's not a particularly quick tank either, by the way. Top speed 45 kilometers per hour. And yet, it seems to have plenty of grunt in the engine. A lot like the Centurions in the British tech tree. While they're not the fastest tanks in the game. And raw top speed was never a design priority for the Centurion. But battlefield agility was. So it had to be able to move quickly from a standing stop, rather than be able to get from A to B in as short as possible a period of time. And the Stridsvagn 74 seems to feel like that. It's never going to win any races, 45 km per hour top speed, and yet it does not take any length of time whatsoever to get to that 45 km per hour top speed, and it seems to be able to maintain that speed quite well. Regardless of the terrain, I've seen a couple of replays with this tank, and even driving through swampy ground it seems to maintain a decent top speed. The gun, however, is definitely where this thing is all at. It's just a shame about the limited ammunition capacity. What are you talking about, Jingles? It's got 42 rounds of ammunition. The FV215B183 Death Star only carries 12. Well, yeah, that thing only needs 12. This thing has 140 alpha damage. You need a lot of ammunition to carry a team of donkeys like this. And Circonflexes is burning through that armour piercing like nobody's business. A43 over there. Is he? It takes a lot of hits. Oh, you've got to be kidding. Probably hit the gun man. No, that one bounced. That one went in. He's had enough of that. Oh, wait, no, he's been tracked. Finish him. Completely missed. Then somebody else hits him, but he's going to get away. It sounds obvious, but when you're in this kind of situation, you have to remove enemy guns from the battlefield as quickly as possible. You can't afford to let low health tanks fall back, keep their gun in action, and then fresh tanks come up and take their place. Easier said than done, I know, but there's another one. He's gonna get away. Now, while it's all well and good chasing down low health enemy tanks and finishing them off, it's important that you don't get killed doing it. Because if you're outnumbered to begin with, handing the enemy team a kill, like that A43 who went down there and he chased down the low health enemy tank, but he did less damage than he took, and he got himself killed in the process. So he didn't really do his team any favours there. Circonflexes has just fired his last round of armour-piercing ammunition. From here on in, he's on the premium, although he does have one round of high explosive. He's going to wish he had more than one round of high explosive, but more on that when we come to it. He still hasn't been spotted. Well, at least I don't think he has. There was an enemy M42 in the saddle between those two ridges over there who did pop a shot in this direction, but I don't think it was aimed. It was just speculating that there was somebody in the bushes. That's 2 shots he's missed now with these very expensive APCR rounds. There we go, finally. And he's gone. Friendly KV-1 over there just got himself killed going after Rudy. Now it's 3 against 9. And that's put that SU-100 over there in a very, very bad spot. Until the T-67 bails his ass out of the fire and caps the Rudy. And here they come. They're all starting to push into the cap circle now. First shot goes in and immobilises the VK as well as doing some damage. Second shot bounces. Third shot, look at the rate of fire. It is very, very good. And the gun handling as well. Watch this. He spots the Nassau there, very, very thinly armoured tank destroyer, immediately cues his high explosive, snaps the turret around, a sneaky 207 damage back to the APCR, and finishes off the VK. It's at this point where you have to start asking yourself whether or not the enemy team were dropped on their heads when they were children. They're all heading in the direction of the T-67, so we're going to assume they can see the T-67. Now, we're also assuming that they can't see Circonflexes, but surely they had to know where the SU-100 was. He was being spotted by the enemy A43 for ages, but they're just driving right across. Look at this. It's just a shooting gallery. The SU-100's shooting them all in the ass, Circon's shooting them all in the side, and the T-67 is shooting them all in the face. And where it was 3 against 9 just a minute ago, yeah, now it's 3 against 4. Suddenly this game actually looks quite winnable. SU-100 there going after the Matilda Black Prince, and he did get a shot into him, but he took some damage doing it. But he did damn sight more damage to the Matilda Black Prince than the Matilda Black Prince did to him. Meanwhile, Circon still has not actually been spotted in this position. He does have the sixth sense on this crew, but it hasn't gone off. Enemy tanks know that there's somebody hiding behind this bush, so they're just firing in the hope of hitting something. But none of these are aimed shots. It's at moments like this when I'm almost sorry that you don't have cross-team chat in World of Tanks anymore, because I'll bet there was some choice remarks flying around in the enemy team. I mean, how do you screw this up? I mean, at one point, it was 9 against 3. They were outnumbered 3-1. Well, they haven't won yet. I mean, Circonflexes' ammunition situation is not looking very good. He's only got 5 shots left. How many of these enemy tanks are 1 shots? Oh, he's spotted. Well, the A43's a 1 shot. The Stridsvagen 74 isn't. It's going to take 2 shots for him to kill him. The SU-100 could probably kill him in 1 shot. Who's he going to go for? Stridsvagen on one side, A43 on the other side, and there's still a third and final enemy tank lurking around somewhere that we haven't seen for a while. There's the Stridsvagen, 1 shot. He's nailed the SU-100, but that's good, because that means Circon's going to reload first. There's the kill. 3 shots remaining. The A43's a 1 shot. He's going after the A43 first because he knows he's there. The A43, of course, also knows he's here and is going to be expecting him, but, well, with that kind of lousy gun depression, you can't afford to have the side of your tank tilted up like that. He couldn't get the gun pointed at him. 2 shots remaining. It's going to take 2 shots to kill this M42. There's 1, can easily afford to take the hit in return, and even if he screws this shot up, he can always ram him, but, well, it's Circonflexes. It's rare that he screws shots like that up. Although it's lucky for Circon that he did actually manage to finish that guy off with the last round of ammunition in his tank, because that earned him the Fadens medal. For those of you who don't know what the Fadens medal is, it's not a particularly well-known medal in World of Tanks because it's so hard to get. You have to finish off the last tank alive on the enemy team with the last round of ammunition in your tank. I only have one Faden's medal, and to my eternal shame I earned it in artillery. I'm sorry about that. The Su-5 Soviet, I think, Tier 4 artillery. Again, a machine with a very, very low ammunition capacity, almost designed for farming Faden's medals, but I digress. Damage done? Well, yeah. Unsurprisingly, top of the team. 3,274 damage in a Tier 6 medium tank that only does 140 damage per shot. I think, judging by the number of Stridsvagen 74 replays that Circon sent me, and this is not the most impressive, I'm saving that one for later on, I think it's fairly safe to say that he has a new favourite Tier 6 medium tank. Bye bye Cromwell. Hello Stridsvagen 74. What's surprising as well is that despite the fact that he blazed through 18 rounds of premium ammunition in that game, he didn't actually lose that much money, only 801 credits. Which has to be refreshing if you're used to the high tier economy in World of Tanks, where you can do twice this amount of damage in a game and still lose money if you fire even a couple of rounds of premium ammunition. And that's why people still keep coming back to the mid-tier tanks, even if they have an entire stable of tier 10s, because they need to support their tier 10 habit. And you do that by playing the mid-tier tanks, because they are fantastic money makers. So that was Circonflexes on El Haluf, dragging his team to a very, very close victory in the Stridsvagen 74, the new Swedish tier 6 medium tank, just released in World of Tanks patch 9.17. I hope you enjoyed today's replay. And as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.